In general, employability is always viewed in terms of obtaining a job. But for a comprehensive understanding of employability, we also need to view it as the capacity to function in a job. While considering the idea of obtaining a job, I think that is one of the most crucial points in terms of employability. Another concept that we need to take or we need to consider is the idea of functioning in a specific job. The second premise that I want to handle in this presentation is this. Normally, the capacity to function in a job is linked to the understanding of a specific subject area or specialization, or practical skills, personal qualities, and metacognition. And this is normally called the user model of employability. But in light of the rise of information and technological innovation, I would like to suggest that networking should also be part of this kind of model. The reason why I say this, we are currently designing a project in the Department of Sociology, University of Botswana, to deal with the idea of employability in relation to the capacity to function in a job. And while considering the user model, we would like to add the idea of networking. Can networking be an important factor when you talk about employability? As far as education is concerned, we acknowledge at least two models here, particularly if we want to understand these models within the demand of our market today. The first model of education that we normally call, that is knowledge model. The other one, that is skills model. And if we want to check the first one, in the knowledge model, normally education is seen as an event. It's not only about gathering information, but it also involves formation of people's characters. And still part of knowledge model, normally the ideas learning actually takes place through conceptualization and critical engagement. We develop concepts and we critically engage in understanding the concepts we formulate. The third one, those who are familiar with the philosophy of Aristotle will agree with this. Education involves reflection on social issues and societal challenges. That is actually the idea of paideia when he explained the idea of paideia, meaning education is not simply gathering information, but it's also shaping the characters of people, or how people understand the social issues and also societal challenges. The second model, normally it is developed within the context of a market-driven society, that is skills model. Education is seen as training, and when learners go through education, normally the focus is more on acquiring skills. And sometimes, or probably often, education is designed to respond to the market demands or needs. The problem or the challenge that we face, especially from the second model, the first problem is this: education can be instrumentalized as a vehicle of achieving policy objectives, with providing skills as its main aim, The second challenge, education can be instrumentalized as a process of providing skills in response to the market demands. From there, I would like to talk about the dynamic relationships between the knowledge model and skills model. I already mentioned the idea of paideia from Aristotle, where education is seen as both acquiring knowledge and skills. In this sense, education does not only deal with the information a graduate needs, but also how education actually forms the individual. The danger is that when skills for market demands actually occupies our understanding of education, education now is not seen anymore as learning space, but rather a vehicle for the market needs. Similarly, when education is merely seen as an event of acquiring knowledge without providing a clear space for knowledge application, the relevance of education is put into question. I would like to talk a bit about the current research in Botswana related to employability. If we check the document, the policy document published in 2008, concerning the tertiary education in Botswana, it says, Botswana tertiary education system has a key responsibility for meeting the needs of an increasingly market-driven, diversified, globalized knowledge-based economy, and this is where the pressures of growth and change are already being experienced. I think there is a combination here between the first model and the second model. And so far, there have been a number of studies in the context of Botswana. A study conducted in 2007 found that nearly 50% of the graduate respondents are still unemployed or economically inactive due to a mismatch between supply and demand. Another study conducted in 2008 indicated that over 70% of the graduates found themselves in jobs that match their level of education. Another study in 2010, conducted by Botho, the unemployment rate among respondents was 50.45%, and the proportion of graduates respondents unemployed and looking for a job was relatively high, standing at 49.55%.